Let's do a summary. NFL, who did the best? I will put these teams up here on the board. Atlanta has drafted a lot of quality skill guys with number one picks the last group of years. Tremendous tight end, big running back, star wide receiver. They should have a quarterback get the ball to him. Now they got the quarterback. Kirk Cousins, quarterback hyphen entrepreneur. The amount of money that he has gotten, first with the old Washington Redskins, then what he did in Minnesota with contract extensions, and now what he just did in Atlanta, absolutely amazing. Falcons have had themselves a pretty good offseason. Pittsburgh's renting people. We talked about a bridge quarterback. Pittsburgh got Russell Wilson. They got him for $1.1 million, and it wasn't a 2-year deal. It was a 1-year deal. Now Russell's getting $39 million from the Denver Broncos, but at the end of the day, Russell Wilson will go there for maybe a year. Then maybe there's a contract extension. What he's going to have in Pittsburgh is a power run game and obviously a really good defense. So maybe he bounces back a bit more. Typical Steelers. Patrick Queen, star inside linebacker, tough guy. Baltimore Ravens. They stole him. I was surprised Baltimore put him on the block. They also did something different. They got rid of a bad character, Deontay Johnson, big-time player, big-time complainer. They traded him away, got him out of Pittsburgh. Steelers, I think, have helped themselves short-term. Houston, what they did last year was phenomenal, and what they just did the first couple of days of free agency, beyond explanation. 2 years, $49 million to sign Danielle Hunter, premier pass rusher, Minnesota. Then they made a trade to get the heavy-duty running back, Joe Mixon from Cincinnati. They got Jeff Okudah, former number one draft pick, Detroit, a corner, and Tommy Townsend, really good punter from Kansas City. By the way, that means this is Matt Ariza's job in Kansas City because Tommy Townsend had done the punting there last couple of years. Tennessee Titans, wow. A big-time receiver, Cam Ridley from Jacksonville. Tony Pollard, the do-everything running back, pretty productive guy. He comes from the Dallas Cowboys, and they picked up a backup insurance policy quarterback that I thought played pretty well at the end of the season last year, Mason Rudolph of the Steelers. What Detroit does is get players who can play. They traded for Carlton Davis, a cornerback from Tampa, and they picked up pass rusher Marcus Davenport, one of the better ones from New Orleans. Washington Commanders in full rebuild mode, but they got guys who can play. Austin Eckler, Cowboys linebacker Dex Fowler. They're renting Marcus Mariota, the journeyman quarterback. They picked up Bobby Wagner, the ex-Seahawk and Rams linebacker, Cleve Farrell, 49ers pass rusher, Jimmy Chin, cornerback. They've done a lot of things. They had a lot of money for that owner to use. 49ers changing their defensive front. They signed Leonard Floyd, the ex-Ram. Yatir Matos, pretty good pass rusher from Carolina. And then they traded for tough guy inside tackle Malik Collins. John Lynch is doing what John Lynch does best, going to find players. Eagles, we projected this a week ago. He crossed the bridge. Saquon Barkley leaves the New York Football Giants to go to the enemy within the division. He signs in Philadelphia. And the Packers wound up with Josh Jacobs of the Raiders after letting, in a bit of a surprise, Aaron Jones go. That's my assessment of the top ones. What would you look like reading information on 119 different players in 3 days?
Well, I just remember you showed me your notes and the way that you keep track of all this. I mean, do you still have that with you right now? You have those little boxes with all the handwritten notes. I mean, it's incredible how you track every one of these players.
Okay, this is inside information now. I don't want anybody photoshopping this and putting it on Twitter. But this is how I keep track of all the player moves. Now, this is my off-season baseball move. Every team that's made transactions, I pay attention to it. Now, some people would say, hey, dumbass, why don't you just put it in a computer? And my response is, hey, dumbass, that takes time to put it into a computer. And if I'm doing my talk show and on remote, that takes time then to punch it up and find it on my computer. Whereas I just pull my chart out here, and that's my Jimmy Johnson Dallas Cowboy chart of player acquisition. So yes, I am bleeping brilliant plus crazy.
Love that. I love all of that. That's awesome.
I didn't know you were going to pull that on me. Okay, so we go from that. Let's talk about who got hurt the most. I think